The rain finally stopped, but it took everything with it. The last of the warmth, the last of the easy ways. So the world ended, and your matches, useless. But that fire inside you, that will to survive, that's not going anywhere. Today, I'm going to show you how to create life-saving fire with only what you can scavenge. We're going to make sure you're not a victim, you're a survivor. This is Apocalypse Survival 101. Before you even think about making a spark, you need to understand the Trinity of fire. Get this wrong, and all you're doing is wasting precious energy. You need 3 things: tinder, kindling, and fuel. Mess this up, and you'll be cold, hungry, and a very easy target for whatever's lurking in the dark. First up, tinder. This is your baby. It's the most delicate, most vital part of the whole deal. Tinder is any dry, fluffy, fibrous stuff that can catch a spark and blossom into an ember. Think finely shredded birch bark, cattail fluff, the inner fibers of cedar, or even bone-dry grass crushed into powder. You want to build it into a loose, airy ball, like a bird's nest. This is what first breathes life into your fire. Next, kindling. This is the awkward teenager of the fire family. It's bigger than tinder, smaller than your main fuel. Kindling's job is to take that tiny flame from the tinder and help it grow up. You're looking for dry twigs, nothing thicker than a pencil, that snap cleanly in your hands. Gather a huge pile of this, way more than you think you need. So many people watch their precious flame die because they didn't have enough kindling ready to go. Finally, fuel wood. This is the adult. These are the logs that will sustain your fire, giving you heat to cook, boil water, and stay warm through the night. Start with pieces no thicker than your wrist and slowly work your way up to bigger logs. Don't just throw a giant log on a tiny flame. You'll smother it. Patience. You have to nurture a fire. All right, got your materials. Let's make a spark. There's a reason this technique has been around forever. It's reliable, it's effective, and you can find or make the parts. You need a piece of flint or another hard rock with a sharp edge like chert or quartz, and you need steel. In this new world, the spine of a high-carbon steel knife is perfect. Here's the secret. When you strike that steel against the flint's edge, you're not getting a spark from the rock. You're shaving off a microscopic flake of steel. The friction is so intense, it heats that tiny metal shaving white-hot. That's your spark. Now, this next part is critical. Those sparks are hot, but they die fast. Trying to catch one directly in your tinder is a long shot. Sure, it's possible with perfect tinder, but why gamble? You need an intermediary. You need char cloth. You can make this ahead of time by taking 100% cotton fabric, sealing it in a small metal tin with a single hole poked in the lid, and just tossing it in a fire. The cotton cooks without oxygen, turning into pure carbon that's just begging to catch a spark. Let's do this. First, build a simple teepee fire, lay with your tinder nest right in the middle. Place a small piece of char cloth directly on top of the tinder. Now, grab your flint and steel. Hold the flint steady and strike down along the sharp edge with a firm, quick motion. Don't smash it, you're trying to glance off it to shave the steel. Angle the strikes so the sparks rain down on your char cloth. There it is, see that? A tiny orange glow on the black fabric. It doesn't look like much, but that's your fire. Stay calm. Gently pick up the char cloth and place it in the center of your tinder nest. Fold the tinder around it like you're swaddling a baby. Now, bring it to your mouth and blow. Not frantic little puffs, long, steady, gentle breaths. You're feeding it oxygen, coaxing it to grow. The tinder will start to smoke more. Keep blowing. Then, whoosh, it'll burst into flame. Immediately get it into your teepee and start adding your smallest kindling. All right, survivor, flint and steel is a must-have skill. But what if you don't have steel? What if you have nothing but the woods around you? Then you have to pass the ancient test of the bow drill. This is what separates those who wish they could survive from those who will. Think of it as the apocalypse's mandatory gym session. It takes grit, patience, and good form. Here's your kit. First, a fireboard. It's a flat piece of dry softwood. Cedar or pine works great. Next, the spindle, a straight, dry stick about as thick as your thumb, carved to a dull point on one end and a sharper one on the other. Same dry softwood, then the bow. Just a curved, tough stick with a cord tied to both ends. A shoelace is perfect. And last, a socket, a piece of hard wood, a smooth stone, or even bone you'll use to press down on the spindle. The principle is just brutal friction. The spindle spinning against the fireboard creates so much heat that it grinds out a fine black dust that gets so hot it ignites, forming a coal. Let's get started. Carve a small depression into your fireboard about an inch from the edge. Now loop the bowstring once around your spindle. Fit the spindle's dull end into that depression and place the socket over the sharp end. Technique is everything here. Kneel down, put one foot on the fireboard to hold it steady. Brace your wrist against your shin. This keeps the spindle vertical and stable. If it wobbles, you lose friction and you fail. Start moving the bow back and forth parallel to the ground. Long, smooth strokes. Apply steady downward pressure with the socket. Go slow at first, just burning in the hole. Once you have a nice burn mark, stop. Now, take your knife and cut a V-shaped notch from the board's edge right into the center of that hole. Place a dry leaf or a chip of bark under that notch. This is going to catch your prize. Now, it's for real. Get back in position and start drilling. Faster now, more pressure. You'll see smoke. Don't stop. That's just moisture. The smoke will get thicker. The smell of burning wood will fill the air. Push through the burn in your muscles. You're looking for a pile of fine black powder to gather in that notch. When it's smoking heavily all by itself, you can finally stop. Carefully tap the board and release that small glowing pile of dust onto your leaf. That is your coal. Fan it gently with your hand until it glows a steady, bright red. Now, get it to your tinder nest, and just like before, blow it into life. You just made fire out of sticks. If this guide is helping you stay prepared, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and makes sure you won't miss the next skill that could save your life. The old world is gone, but its trash is our treasure. This method is the ultimate scavenger's hack. It almost feels like cheating, but in a real survival situation, there's no such thing. All you need is one 9-volt battery and some fine-grade steel wool. The finer, the better. The science here is just beautiful. A 9-volt battery has both terminals right next to each other. Steel wool is made of tiny iron threads. Touch the wool to both terminals and you complete a circuit. Electricity surges through the thin fibers. Their high resistance creates insane heat, and the iron literally burns. And it happens in a flash. First, take a pad of steel wool and fluff it up. Pull the fibers apart to get more oxygen in there. Now place this fluffed up wool right on top of your tinder nest. Ready? This is fast. Take the 9-volt and press the terminals firmly into the steel wool. It will instantly start to glow and spark, sending a chain reaction of fire racing through the fibers. It's like a mini fireworks show. The burning steel wool will light your tinder almost immediately. Blow on it gently to help the flame catch and start adding your kindling. It's that easy. The best part? This method works even in damp conditions, which can be an absolute lifesaver. Just a word of warning. Burning steel wool gets incredibly hot, over 1000 degrees Celsius. So be careful and try not to breathe in the smoke. Keep a battery and a bag of steel wool in your kit. It's the most reliable emergency fire starter you can scavenge. So, there you have it. 3 paths to the single most important tool for survival. We used ancient knowledge with the bow drill, a classic technique with flint and steel, and a clever trick of scavenging with a battery. That fire in front of you is a testament to your will, your knowledge, and your refusal to just give up. Fire is so much more than warmth. It's hope. It's a beacon in the dark that says, I am still here. I am a survivor. Master these skills. Practice them until they're muscle memory. Because out here, the ability to create fire is the ability to create life. Leave a comment below and tell me which method you're going to practice first. And check out our other videos for more essential apocalypse skills. Stay ready, stay alive.